Hi, I'm Frankie.
And I'm Cheyenne.
And we are
Conbini Cult.
Welcome back to another episode.
Woo!
Following a really dark topic from last time, but an important thing to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going on and on about over-tourism again.
Yeah, I mean, because tourism is just on and on, continuing on and on in Japan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this time specifically about Mount Fuji.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little different. But
before we get into that, do you have any life updates? What you been up to?
It's not so much of a life update, but an incident that happened recently that I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
I did leave you a voice note about this.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed listening to it. It was like my own little mini podcast, a bonus episode from Frankie.
Yeah. So one thing that I find annoying, I'm sure a ton of people, most people probably find annoying, is when people cut in line.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's annoying, isn't it? So usually when that happens, I mean, depending on who the person is, like if they look like they could beat me up, then I'm like, okay, go ahead.
Okay, after you.
But a lot of the time, I'll just get right back in front of them. So,
okay, good. Yeah, so stand your ground.
I was, all of my train incidents always seem to happen at Osaka Station on the JR. Okay, so I'm waiting for the JR at Osaka Station. And it's a Saturday night, so it's pretty busy. And there are two, I think, high school girls behind me. They're just looking at stuff on their phones, chatting, whatever. But somewhere behind them, there's these two guys that look maybe college, university age.
Guys, yuck.
early 20s?
Yeah.
Maybe. But as the train is approaching, they get in front of not only the high school girls, but also in front of me. So I'm like,
What? Yeah.
And then I get right back in front of them. And then they cut me off again.
Oh.
So then I get right back in front of them again.
Yeah.
And then the one guy makes that sound. And then I look him right in the eyes and I'm like, and then him and his friend are like, oh, what's this? Like, what's this girl doing?
Yeah.
And you know how sometimes in the heat of the moment you forget your language, especially your second language. So I forgot the word for cutting in line. What is it, like yoko hairi or something?
Couldn't even tell you. I don't know.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
So I just said like nani shitennen, which is
not the kansai, man. Okay.
I mean, it just means what are you doing? But obviously, depending how you say it, it could be more
aggressive.
rude or aggressive.
Yeah.
So I said that, and then they were just like, meh. And then and then we walk onto the train, and they were just like, oh, this gaijin, whatever. And I was just like, oh, kimoi, and then went to my seat. I was prepared to, because I didn't know if I was going to run into them again when I got off the train. So I was thinking in my head for the next 10 minutes or so, like, what? If they say something to me, this is what I'm going to say back to them.
You're planning the argument in your head. Okay. Yeah.
But the train was really crowded, so they
never ran into them after that.
See them on the way off the train, so luckily. But and then
really?
I got home.
Yeah.
Well, I sent you a voice note about it, but I also talked to my husband about it because I was like, was I being rude in that situation? And he was like, no way, I would have done the same thing. People who cut in line are so annoying.
Yeah, exactly. Because like they cut in line 2 spaces, right? So in front of those high school girls, in front of you, and then
I don't know where they were before.
I don't know. But what makes you think like you have the right to do that? You know, especially if they're Japanese, they kind of like should have an understanding of that, like, you know, unspoken rule of waiting in line and kind of just waiting in your place to go on the train. It's not like you know, it's not like the law, but it's also just kind of common courtesy unspoken rule. Yeah. That must have been annoying, though.
That bugged me, because also, I'm not sure if those girls would have said anything either, but that was rude to them, too.
Yeah. So I'm glad you defended yourself and them as well. Yeah, you're braver than me. I don't think I would have done anything. I think it depends, like, in your case, how you were defending yourself, but also those girls. I feel like when it's, like, for someone else, I can do it. Like, so kind of related to my life update, my sister just visited Japan for the first time, actually, and she came from the US. And so, obviously, I'm, like, showing her around. Like, she doesn't really know anything about, you know, Japan and obviously all those unspoken rules and stuff. So, like, when we're waiting for the train, I'm telling her, okay, let's wait over here, like, things like that. And, yeah, we ran into some instances where people were trying to, like, push past us or kind of cutting and things like that. And I'm not as brave as you, so I couldn't do the, like, thing, but but like we both just looked at each other, my sister and I, and kind of had that really strong look of annoyance towards that person. We just like glared at them a little bit because it is super annoying. And thankfully she kind of like understood too, because she used to live in New York City, so like subway and all that. Subway, train, yeah.
Subway, yeah.
Subway, yeah.
But people are not as courteous.
No. And because of that, I think
know.
she's like a lot more, I don't know, not aggressive, but like she knows how to assert herself. Yeah. If people are kind of commandeering in her space. So yeah.
Makes sense.
But she had a good trip. It was fun. But I'm sorry that happened to you. But I wish I could have
I'm not sad about it.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could have seen their faces or their like surprise.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think for anybody who witnessed this interaction, it was probably really entertaining for them. So,
that's true. Yeah. Oh, well, speaking of crowded places.
I got a cough again.
Okay.
If you see me tearing up, it's just because
I
don't know why my throat got so itchy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I think because it's still
dry in here.
As we're recording this episode, it's still late September, and I think my allergies are worse now than they were in the spring. I keep sneezing. My throat is itchy.
There's
and dry.
something, right? Like some kind of fall allergy.
Maybe the rice too.
Yeah.
Not that
The
good.
rice, yeah. What? Not that kind of weeds. Yeah, I see. But I don't know. We see a lot of stuff. Well, I know our topic today is about over-tourism on Mount Fuji and just over-tourism in general. We talk a lot about here in Japan. And there's a lot of cases where maybe on the train, sometimes it can get crowded and full of like suitcases, and not everyone knows like train manners, and there's a lot of crowding or cutting and things like that. But Frankie's story just goes to show it's not only tourists that are causing, trouble in the trains. There was the two Japanese people that also wanted to cut in front of you. So before
it's just human things, anybody can be rude.
Yeah, anybody can be rude. So before anyone is in our comments like, see tourists cutting in line, how dare they go back to your country or whatever. These weren't tourists. So that's all I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
But speaking of problems and tourism.
Yeah. Some things are happening in Kamakura.
And it sounds like this has been a long-going problem, but maybe the residents of Kamakura are just like at their breaking point. Yeah. Are you familiar with the manga and anime Slam Dunk, the basketball one, right?
I've only heard of it.
Okay. Well, there's in their opening scene in the opening credits, there's a famous shot of, I don't know what to call it, the railway, the train going across the ocean. It's called the Enoden. Yeah. And the scenery is really pretty. And so a lot of Slam Dunk fans or anime fans or, fans of Japan in general will typically go to that spot in Kamakura because it's a real place and take, photos, get their little Insta-buy, their pics for Instagram and all that. But they're causing a lot of traffic in the area. I think it was always a crowded and popular spot because that anime is from the 80s. But I think even more so because the, numbers of inbound tourism are so high within the last couple of years. It's really causing a lot of issues in the residential area and among, the residents who live there. And on top of, the overcrowding and jumping into traffic, they've like hired security guards or police officers to be like, stop, because like ongoing traffic is coming.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. But on top of that, not only, are people getting in the way of traffic and things. I saw an article by Unseen Japan, which Frankie can link in the notes. Apparently, people are also just vandalizing the place with trash, leaving a bunch of garbage behind and also peeing in the area.
Yeah, that was, you would kind of expect trash or whatever. You hear that a lot for overcrowded places, but public urination too. Maybe people can't be bothered to find a toilet.
I guess, but doesn't mean you have to like pee outside, someone.
I'm not defending the public urinators.
Yeah. But I think they've posted a lot of signage now around that station that say there's no restroom here. Like, please don't use the facilities here. And I believe there is also a temple near that area as well. And one of the, what do you call it? The priests, I guess, of the temple or people who, manage the temple, they're finding, they call them golden bottles. And it's just, like pet bottles, water bottles
Full
filled
of
with
pee?
pee. Yeah, that people just like leave.
Oh, like
out.
the truck drivers do.
Yeah, the truck drivers. Yeah, so it's not like, I'm sure in those cases, it's not just tourists doing that.
Mhm.
Like, you know, they find the pee bottles by truck drivers, or the priest has also witnessed
Golden bottle.
I think, yeah, something like, I have to look it up again. Golden bottles, and
That makes it sound a lot nicer than what it
that's
is.
true, right? And the priest also has mentioned he's seen, you know, visitors in the
Mhm.
area just peeing in the bushes in public.
Priest or monk? Maybe monk.
Monk. Sorry. I'm sorry
I don't know
about
if
the
priest
wording.
is priest for shrine. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, write it right here in the
don't know.
comments. But yeah,
Maybe there are priests.
the
in
worker,
temples.
yeah, the person of that temple
Mhm.
has just been finding a lot of vandalism in the area, and so one of the solutions the residents and city officials are thinking about in Kamakura is just, unfortunately, to make the area just less appealing, which, like,
How do you do that?
I don't know if they're gonna, kind of like the Mount Fuji thing, the Mount Fuji Lawson, where they just put a
Yeah.
huge black curtain. I don't know
Yeah.
if they're just gonna put ugly signage or curtains or blocking, like
They gotta
blockage
cover
walls.
the entire train.
Yeah. With a
curtain.
sheet they just cover it over. Or like, who knows, maybe wherever you view, like wherever that iconic shot is,
they
they're
can
gonna
block
put,
the view?
Yeah, they're gonna block the view with something.
Mhm.
And, you know, a lot of city officials were saying, we don't want to do that. We're
Mhm.
like really sad it has to come to that. But also the residents are just at their wits' end. We cannot
Yeah.
handle this level of, I don't know, vandalism
Mm-hmm.
anymore, basically. But yeah, it's a really frustrating situation all around, because the residents there, I'm sure, you know, like they appreciate people thinking their town is so beautiful.
Mhm.
But it must be really hard to just deal with that level of traffic every day, or people jumping into the street for a photo, or golden bottles everywhere. I don't know. It's really tough. But I saw that and just wanted to talk about the article because it was published a few days before we're recording, which is September 25th. So yeah, kind of leads into today's topic, right?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So on to Mount Fuji?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. So to start, have you ever climbed Mount Fuji?
No. I always wanted to, but just never have. And maybe now I never will. Yeah. You?
I have also never climbed
Okay.
it, and I don't want to.
You don't, like, from arriving in Japan, you just never...
I was kind of curious about it when I first moved here, but I don't know, after realizing it's an active volcano and then
Okay.
I mean, the view
Yeah.
from once you get to the top, like if you can see the sunrise there, that's really beautiful. But on the way up, it just seems like kind of monotonous. Like it's only volcanic
like
rock
the
whole way
it's
up.
not that many views
Yeah.
up there. Yeah.
So I would rather hike one of the nearby mountains and see Mount Fuji from a distance and get a different view of it.
I see.
But I am very scared of it. I feel like, not to be a pick-me, but like, I feel like if I was going to climb it, it would erupt. So I'm like,
How pick-me of you to think Mount Fuji is
Mount
going to
Fuji is
erupt
gonna
just
erupt
for
for
you,
me.
for being up there.
no,
I
mean,
see.
that's silly because that would affect hundreds of thousands of people. So
It's been
still,
inactive
I'm
for a
scared.
long time, right?
we will get into that.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. So, okay, you've never climbed it. I've never climbed
No.
it. If you have,
Yeah.
leave a comment and let us know
Yeah.
how it was.
I know a lot of people who have, and they said, you know, it's really hard, especially if you're trying to see the sunrise. And you're just kind of in, especially if it's a cloudy day, you're probably just in the clouds the whole time, not
Yeah.
seeing much. Yeah.
If you got to the top, like I would be kind of sad if I made it all this way.
Yeah, and you can't like
it's
see
foggy
anything.
or something. And,
Yeah. I would love to one day just for, not the status, but what do you call it? Like the achievement, just to say I hiked Mount Fuji. That's a pretty cool thing to say. Yeah, but not anytime soon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's look at some Fuji basics.
Okay. So Fuji-san, also known as Mount Fuji, is shared between Yamanashi and Shizuoka prefectures, and it stands at 3,776 meters, which is 12,390 feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, as we have already mentioned, it is an active volcano. It does erupt once, roughly every few hundred years, and it has been over 300 years since the last eruption.
Okay.
So, I would like to just briefly
Yeah.
talk about what did happen during the
Okay.
last eruption.
Okay.
So, it was in 1707. So, the things leading up to it. So 1 month before the eruption, there was an 8.7 magnitude earthquake in Wakayama. So all the way over.
All the way
in
down.
Kansai.
Yeah.
But even that earthquake could be felt in the villages around Fuji as well. All the way in Yamanashi and Shizuoka.
Okay.
Everything, up until there. And since that occurrence, there were tremors that kept happening, continuing to grow in intensity. Then there was another large earthquake the day before the actual eruption.
Okay.
So, seems like the earthquakes are triggering something.
Yeah.
And then on the morning of December 16th, the actual day of the eruption, Fuji was rumbling loudly. White smoke was seen emerging from the southeast flank. I think maybe some people misinterpret it and think that it was coming from the top of the cone.
Oh, okay.
But no, it was on one of the sides.
Okay.
So volcanic ejecta. That was a new word for me.
Sorry.
I know where your mind is going.
I know. Like I've got the brain of like a little 12-year-old boy, but that word is so funny to me.
Volcanic ejecta.
Okay.
So ash, cinders, volcanic gases began to rain on surrounding villages, covering fields, lighting houses on fire.
Gnarly.
There were also reports of a volcanic thunderstorm with lightning rippling through the ash. That would be so scary.
Yeah.
The eruption burst through the southeast flank of Fuji, forming 3 new vents. The area around the vents collapsed into deep craters, some of which I think you can see them all today.
Oh.
With some of these craters and stuff. But
okay.
I don't know, because I never climbed it, so I never saw it. Volcanic material piled up on the largest crater side, forming a new secondary peak on the mountain.
Whoa. Okay.
Science, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's cool.
All right, and then even 100 kilometers away in Edo, what we now call Tokyo, doors and windows began to rattle and people didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
The sky got darker, almost as if it was nighttime, even though it was still around 10 a.m. at this time. Then by 3 p.m., it was raining white ash. The eruption lasted for 16 days.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so what was the aftermath of that?
Well, there are no official records of the death toll, but it's estimated to be around 20,000. The thick ashfall ruined crops, which led to food shortages and famine. And the ashfall was around 6 inches or 15 centimeters, even in Tokyo. So, yeah, I don't know. Imagine how badly the villagers closer to Mount Fuji were affected. That must have been really insane to see. And also, at that time, right, clearly there's no news or TV, internet, whatever. So they probably thought the world was ending or something.
That is true.
Yeah, that's scary to think about. Even now, with like resources capturing, everything, that's terrifying. But.
Yeah, and I think I also read that a lot of people didn't evacuate because they were like, Mount Fuji doesn't really erupt that often, so we should be fine. So
poor thing, yeah.
This past summer, because speaking of earthquakes triggering the eruption, so this past summer, do you remember the doomsday prediction, basically, the mega earthquake?
That was supposed to be, July 5th?
July 5th.
Yeah. That's my brother's birthday. That's why I remember it. Yeah. I see.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen, thankfully. Yeah, but a lot of people were prepared for it to happen and were really believing in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little superstitious myself. So actually, this all came from the prediction of a manga artist. I think she wrote this book in the 90s. It was called The Future I Saw or something. And she kind of predicted the 2011, COVID, the 2011 disaster.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, people were a little bit scared considering her other prediction for July. Yeah, I'm cautious myself. So I told my husband, stay home on that day. You're not allowed to work on that day.
Oh, really? Did he listen? Did he stay home?
He did.
Oh, well, that's kind of him.
Yeah. But then everything ended up being okay.
Yeah.
For now.
On this topic, no judgment if you don't, because I don't. Do you have a disaster bag? Because I know that's a big thing a lot of people carry and prepare here in Japan.
No. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, me too. Even after 8 years, which is really bad, I don't have a disaster kit or a bag or anything.
But I also feel like if I do prepare that, then I'm inviting disaster, if that makes sense.
You're kind of superstitious like that.
I think I technically do have a lot of supplies in my house, but they're not all gathered into one emergency pack.
Yeah, I might make one soon, only because, I have a new family member to think about. And so for just in case, right? Of course, I never want to make this to get ready. Like I want to be prepared, but I don't want it to happen, of course. But if anyone living in Japan, if you're kind of, would like to be prepared, but maybe don't know where to start, apparently Amazon has these disaster bags.
Like a ready-made one.
Yeah, ready. If you just want something to have. Yeah. I highly recommend. I might get one too. But okay, that's all I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah. So with this prediction from the manga artist, people were thinking like maybe it could be about the mega earthquake that is predicted to happen sometime within the next 30 years. I mean, it's not a guarantee, but the likelihood increased to 80%. So there's an 80% chance it could happen sometime within the next 30 years. Who knows when? The Nankai Trough earthquake, which would trigger tsunamis and cause a lot of disaster. But I mean, we don't know when it could happen, if it will happen. So I mean, all you can really do is know your evacuation routes and don't be like us and prepare an emergency bag.
When it's too late. Do you know where you're supposed to evacuate at least?
Well, I'm going to be moving in a couple months, so I'll learn then.
Yeah, learn where it is. Usually, from what I've seen, especially like more in the Inaka areas, it's usually a school.
Elementary school, yeah. Because they're concrete.
Yeah, so you would evacuate there and like maybe take shelter in the gym or something.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, but if this mega earthquake happens, that could potentially trigger the next Mt Fuji eruption. So that's how it's related.
So I see.
Yeah.
Be careful.
I don't know. So back to the over-tourism part. Regarding over-tourism around Mount Fuji specifically, so we did already mention earlier in the episode the craziness with the Lawson.
Oh yeah, the Fuji Lawson.
And they put up that net, which people were poking holes in and trying to peek over.
Did they take that down? I haven't heard.
So.
Oh, what did that last? 1 month?
I don't know how long it lasted, but I think eventually they were just like,
okay, it's not working. Took it down. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I was also watching a video from CNN that was talking about the environmental damage and like traffic jams and stuff on the mountain.
Oh.
So in 2013, Mount Fuji was given UNESCO World Heritage status, but because of the environmental damage caused by over-tourism, that World Heritage status is under threat. It could be taken away.
Oh, no.
With
That's really sad.
Too much foot traffic, people leaving trash and stuff.
Oh.
That is very sad.
Yeah.
Then there's also, have you ever seen this place, Mount Fuji Dream Bridge?
No.
Okay, we can look at the picture from this article.
Yeah.
So it is, I don't know what this bridge, I've never been there. I don't know what this bridge is.
Where does it lead to?
Leading to? Yeah. I think, well, usually when you see these types of bridges, it's going over a busy street.
Okay.
That's why it's there, so you can walk safely across the street.
Yeah.
But the view going up this bridge is the perfect view of Mount Fuji. So a lot of people take pictures there.
Okay. I've definitely seen, some pictures of this then on TikTok or, for, I don't know, it was like curated to where I didn't know what the bottom of the stairs looks like because you always see people walking up it. So it looks really nice. And I thought it was just this like made for Instagram stairs located somewhere, I don't know, in the countryside or whatever.
It's
like
in a residential area.
And so like I'm looking at this picture now and I didn't realize it's just on a street.
Yeah.
So like people are just lining up to walk up the stairs and take pictures of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh. What if you just live there and you're trying to get to work or something? You gotta like, I'm so worried residents there are waiting for like content or waiting for influencers to get their shot before they walk up, or if some of them have just like, I don't give a crap anymore and they just like walk in, which they should. It's a public space, but also like, I wonder how that goes then.
I mean, I'm sure that was happening.
Yeah.
But we will get into how they came up with a solution for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm curious.
But I just wanted to note, because the title of this article I'm looking at is called City Finds Mutual Solution to Deal with Hordes of Mount Fuji Tourists. I would like to say that I've seen it a lot on social media, but it's not all from foreign tourists.
Oh,
I've seen Japanese people post about it too. So.
Of course, I don't doubt it. I mean, Japanese people love Mount Fuji as well, like just as much as foreign tourists. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I love and fear Mount Fuji. But yeah, it was getting out of control because it's a residential area. Like it's not meant for a ton of people to be walking there.
Yeah.
There are cars driving by.
And soon cars were parked illegally on residential streets and at private properties while noise and litter increased. Some tourists even asked Toma residents for permission to use the toilets in their homes.
That's crazy.
What? Dangerous behavior was also observed around the bridge, including people walking in the middle of the national highway and climbing over the median strip. Ugh,
yeah.
Okay.
So their solution,
yeah,
they hired security guards to maintain order and direct traffic, and it seems like people are lining up for it pretty nicely now. I don't know what kind of chaos was there before.
Yeah.
But yeah, they also put up a parking lot. Pave paradise.
I put up a parking lot.
Sorry. I think they put toilets there too. So
that's good.
People don't have to knock on residents' doors and be like, hey, can I use your toilet? That's wild. It seems like the locals are happier with these measures too.
Yeah.
Because the city hasn't gotten as many complaints recently.
Yeah, I think like asking someone in the neighborhood to use their toilet, I kind of was surprised, and that is wild to do. But to be honest, I do countryside things, but also I appreciate it. What am I saying here? I do respect it a little bit because it's better than the Kamakura situation where they're golden bottles and like peeing in public or just peeing in the street and stuff. Like if you have to go, it's not ideal, but at least they were like looking for a toilet. But that's all I was just thinking. Okay. Yeah. But also just, I don't know. People need to chill out in these kinds of places. And
as we always say, like we try not to shit on tourists too much, but then you read some of these things and you're like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Like, did you have to do that?
Yeah, for real. No more golden bottles.
No. So Mount Fuji itself, there are usually between 200,000 to 300,000 climbers per year.
Damn.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Considering the climbing season is pretty short, too.
When it's only in the summer?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the official climbing season is from early July to early September. This year, it was until September 10th.
Oh.
So it just ended recently.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the official Mount Fuji climbing site.
Yeah.
And it seems like, well, they started implementing a lot of new measures last year. But from this year, it got even more strict, which is seems to be helpful, I think. Yeah. So yeah, let's read about some of these new measures.
All right. So there is a 4,000 yen mountain entry fee. And thankfully, it says the same price in both their Japanese and English pages. We say this because a lot of times, like you'll notice there's a tourist tax or like a tourist price.
Yeah.
And if you can't read Japanese, of course, you're going to read, maybe the English site or the other language site and pay more than what locals are paying, even though like if it's not an official price, it's just like them kind of scamming tourists sometimes. So that's good to know. All right. It's the same price.
Same price all around.
Okay.
So have you ever heard of bullet climbing?
No, I was just about to ask what that is in the notes.
Okay. So that's basically just climbing the mountain overnight without staying in a hut.
And you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that anymore. They have so the mountain is restricted. So from 2 p.m. to 3 a.m. the following morning, no one can enter the mountain from the 5th station except for those staying at mountain huts.
Oh, 2 p.m. sounds so early. I guess it just gets darker.
Yeah, but it's going to take you a long time to get up there.
I see.
So bullet climbing is dangerous because you're not resting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the weather conditions are obviously harsher in the middle of the night. So a lot of the injuries and the rescues and stuff that were happening, a lot of it would be from bullet climbing.
I see.
So
more measures were that a reservation is required for the Yoshida Trail, which is the most popular route. It's possible to make same-day reservations, but you're not guaranteed to be accepted because there's now a daily limit of 4,000 people on that trail.
Yeah.
That still sounds like a lot of people.
Yeah, so you should make the reservation in advance. Why not? Also, staying in a hut, I was curious how much that would be because I haven't done it. So is it expensive? It should cost somewhere around 5,000 to 10,000 yen, depending if there are meals included in your stay or if you want a private room.
I see.
Because a lot of them are like bunk beds.
Yeah, a hut meaning like a tent or a cabin.
Like
situation?
a cabin type thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's almost 40 huts total on that mountain.
Yeah.
More than I thought, I think.
Same.
Yeah.
I assumed there were like 3.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
40.
But
Yeah.
the Yoshida Trail alone has the most with 18 to 20 huts.
Yeah. I was also curious as someone who pees a lot. Like,
Yeah,
where are the toilets?
Yeah.
There are toilets.
Okay.
For most of them, though. I mean, the toilets at the huts and maybe some other points along the way. But you'll need to make a donation for those. Like, suggested donation. Maybe 100 yen, 200, 300 yen.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, yeah.
Somebody's got to clean those toilets. So.
True. And those are cash only?
Yeah, bring coins.
Bring coins.
Bring your coins.
Yeah. See, for the other trails, which are in Shizuoka, pre-registration is required. And we'll link the official climbing site where you can find all the official like registration links and all that.
Yeah.
You register your info, pay the 4,000 yen fee, watch an e-learning video, and take a quiz. And then you get a QR for your permit. I like that. To be honest, I really like that.
Yes. And then if you show up on the day for your hike and you're not registered, you will be asked to learn the rules and etiquette on site.
Love that.
Nobody can get away with this.
Yeah, good.
Can get away without doing this.
I do really like that. Yeah. I agree.
Seems like a good system to me.
No comments there.
Yeah. Hopefully it went well this year.
Yeah, that's true. I can see some people complaining about it, but like, no, just learn about where you're climbing, you know?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because the season just ended, so we don't really know
I
all of the figures from this year, but yeah, hopefully it worked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the off season.
In any period other than the climbing season, trails and huts are closed, and it's very dangerous to climb the mountain during the period.
Yeah. So during this period when trails are closed, they're technically impassable from the 5th station up. Violating this could get you up to 6 months in prison and a fine of up to 300,000 yen, around $2,000. I mean, it's also really unsafe, so don't do that.
I've got a comment, and this is for the people who also watched our video about stalking, our previous video. How is it that, like, violating, this Fuji-san climbing, activity can get you up to 6 months in prison?
Breaking into trespassing on Mount Fuji during the off-season?
6 months in prison, and stalking someone, like actively stalking someone, can get you up to a year. Why, like 6 months? I know 6 months isn't a full year, but they're close enough in time to where make it make sense. Like, why, why is what is this called? Violating the trail? Or breaking and entering into Fuji is almost the same as like stalking someone in Japan. I just thought that was interesting.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember seeing stuff on the news. I don't know if it was last year or the year before about tourists, because they were interviewing people who looked like they were trying to like hop the fence or something to get onto the trail during the off season.
Jail.
But yeah, some people just assume that it's open because it's a mountain.
Right.
How do you close a mountain?
Right.
So people assume that it's open 24/7, 365, but it's not.
I see.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever heard about this, but in 2019, there was a Japanese man who was climbing during the off season, and he was live streaming his climb.
No.
And then there were extreme weather conditions at that time. It was very snowy. The winds were super harsh. And he fell and obviously passed away. But this was on the live stream. Like,
that's crazy.
You don't see his body or anything. I don't know if he had a GoPro or what type of camera he was using. But you see him
falling
off the mountain.
Have you seen that footage?
Yeah.
Is it insane? Yeah, he's just.
I mean, because you know what happens in the end. Yeah.
That's really sad, and that's like, is that footage just still on his channel too, or like did someone save it? I don't know if it was on his channel,
but I think it's been reposted.
That's really sad. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, aside from the obvious aspect of harsh weather conditions and poor visibility during the off season, it would also take a long time for help to arrive.
Oh yeah, that's so true.
So I wanted to read a little bit about Oh,
don't
it's
climb
called
Mount
Don't Climb Mount Fuji Off-Season. Shizuoka police warned mountain saw 4 deaths last year while the trails were closed. But they talked a little bit about someone who had to be rescued. So could you read
Sure.
that?
On April 26th, a Chinese university student in his 20s who was living in Tokyo Shibuya Ward became unable to descend near the 8th station on the Fujinomiya route. Another climber dialed emergency services and the police mountain rescue team retrieved him. The same student had climbed Mount Fuji just 4 days earlier, became sick, and was airlifted out by helicopter. He ran into trouble again when he returned to fetch belongings, including his mobile phone, that he could not carry down during the first rescue. Last year, the bodies of 3 climbers were discovered near the crater before the season opened. All had gone missing while climbing during the off-season. According to the police, Mount Fuji had 70 search and rescue cases in 2024, with 10 fatalities. Of the 6 accidents that occurred while the mountain was closed, 4 involved death. Even in spring, snow remains near the summit and temperatures fall below freezing. Depending on the weather, strong winds and other factors can make rescue extremely difficult, an official warned. It's nothing like calling an ambulance on flat ground. Very true.
Yeah. But I was just kind of mind blown that this guy went up twice.
Twice?
And had to be rescued twice within 4 days.
4 days is crazy. Like, I understand you want to get your belongings, but also that's nuts.
To risk it all again?
To risk it all. So this goes to show, like, even if you're from a place where you hike all the time, like me too, I used to go hiking in Hawaii all the time, it's different. So please consider things like altitude change and like weather and all of that. I think a lot of people don't realize how serious it can be to hike Mount Fuji, especially in the off season. So just be careful.
Yeah.
Follow the rules.
Even during the season, a lot of people underestimate especially the weather and the altitude and stuff.
For sure.
So as I mentioned, even during the actual season, there are still a lot of accidents too. In 2024, there were 83 rescues on Mount Fuji, which was a roughly 60% increase compared to the 5-year average.
Oof.
In 2024, 6 people died in just the first month of the season. According to the Asahi Shimbun, all 6 victims were men in their late 50s to late 70s, according to police. 5 of them died after falling ill during the climb, while the other suffered fatal injuries after falling from a rocky slope, police said. The majority of fatal incidents on Mount Fuji are caused by illness, according to Yamanashi Prefectural Police. They urge climbers to take precautions against cold weather and altitude sickness, which can lead to cerebral and pulmonary edema, excessive fluid buildup in the brain and lungs. Shizuoka Prefectural Police said all deaths so far this season occurred during bad weather. They implore people to cancel their climbing plans if a storm is forecast.
Yeah, and other dangers and common injuries include, altitude sickness. Have you ever experienced that?
No.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would get it.
Altitude.
I'm really prone to headaches and stuff, so I think...
I feel like, it's a lot worse than people maybe imagine. I don't know. It sounds really intense, but I've never experienced it either.
Yeah, I've never experienced it. I know they sell oxygen tanks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like already so insane to me. That's crazy. Other things are falling and slipping, hypothermia, heat stroke, rock falls. Yeah, there's a lot happening up there, so just go with caution.
Yeah. So, I mean, even during the summer, on the top of the mountain, it's still going to be cold.
Yeah.
So you go from like the extreme
True.
heat on ground level, and then once you get up there, it's cold. So you need to be prepared for all of those types of temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, is Mount Fuji the next Everest?
No. I don't think it's like it's intense, but I don't think it's
it's
as
not
intense.
Nearly as tall as
yeah.
Everest, but there are a lot of similarities between people underestimating the mountain and the overcrowding that we're seeing.
Yeah,
I don't know about this year
because Mount Fuji. A lot of the terrain, it seems like during climbing season at least, is very just rocky. I don't think there's a lot of snow up there because you're going in the summer.
Maybe some patches of snow, but
like. So, of course, if people are getting stranded or if they're getting injured or worse, rescue teams, for the most part, can see them and get them. But Mount Everest, I believe some people are just, up there.
Yeah, it's really hard to rescue people. So there's a lot of bodies up there.
Yeah.
I would never, ever climb Mount Everest. I mean, I don't have $50,000 or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really expensive trip anyway, but
no way.
Yeah.
No way I would ever do that.
I think when I was like, I don't know, in college or something, just young and dumb, I remember having
I could do it.
Yeah,
I could bullet climb Everest.
I could do it. Like, not even that, but just maybe having a dream of climbing Mount Everest one day, just kind of checking it off my bucket list kind of thing. And now I'm okay. Like, I don't need to be doing all that. You know, who am I trying to like prove? Nobody. So
I don't know. I remember randomly my brother said before, he's like, it's my dream to climb Mount Everest. I'm like, you can barely walk up a hill. How are you going to climb Mount Everest?
Called out. Red to fills. Yeah. But I don't know. Just give me like 1 second. My brain is computing something else.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. Yes.
Without you, my friend. Yeah, this one we can actually end on a positive note. So all this talk about tourists ruining the place. Well, here's something kind of happy.
Okay.
A ghost town that has been revived.
Ooh.
So this article I found was also from Unseen Japan. Shout out to them. We love Unseen Japan.
Yeah, we do.
They have,
we reference them a lot, yeah.
Their writers are pretty good. They cover a lot of good stuff. So the whole of... Fuji-san's hole is gaping.
That's a title of the video. Exploring Fuji-san's gaping hole. Fuji-san's gaping hole explained.
That's gonna be the title of this episode.
Do it.
The whole city of Fuji Yoshida was not exactly what you could call a ghost town. It is very busy. That is where the pagoda is. The Chureito Pagoda.
Do it.
You know it. It's in every single guidebook, every famous picture of Japan. The pagoda.
Oh, with
Fuji
Fuji-san
in the background. That one.
You're like the pagoda. Like, does the pagoda have a name? Okay, I see. Yes, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. But one particular area, the Honcho-dori shopping district, was on the verge of becoming a ghost town. But thanks to photo ops, Honcho-dori started getting more attention, and now visitors come for not only the Fuji views, but also the shops and the restaurants.
Oh,
so business is a booming.
That's really nice. Yeah, that's good to hear at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad because I know you travel a lot around Japan and kind of explore what do you call like the more inaka countryside areas of Japan. So I'm sure you see maybe not ghost towns, but you do come across a lot of towns that are just not as crowded and could use a little bit more tourism,
not
right?
As lively.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting that I guess this one place did get revived. That's really good to hear. Yeah. And it sounds like they're not experiencing any crazy problems like golden bottles or anything. Not yet.
Hopefully they don't ever. But.
Yeah. That's good. Well, I'm glad, for that town, but also, like we said, be careful if you ever decide to climb Mount Fuji.
Don't underestimate it.
Yeah, I think my perspective on it definitely changed after doing this episode. Again,
How
it's
so?
like maybe the safetyness of it all. I don't know. I just get, I would be prepared for things like, the altitude sickness or being registered or climbing during season. I would know to do all of those things, but I didn't really know about the stats of, the eruptions and stuff. So, especially because we've been having a lot of earthquakes here recently. Yeah. And when you mentioned how an earthquake back in 1707, right? How the earthquake back in Wakayama kind of led to the eruption of Mount Fuji all the way in Shizuoka, Yamanashi. I might be okay for a little bit. I'm kind of scared now.
Yeah, now you're in the same boat as me.
Yeah, but...
Fearing Fuji's hole.
I fear that hole. I fear that hole for... Yeah, but, I was going to say, there's a lot of, discourse out there about from residents of Yamanashi and Shizuoka. They kind of fight over, they kind of fight over, Fuji-san belonging to
Where-
them.
Is
Like
that
where
like the Statue of Liberty? Is it in New Jersey or New York?
Oh, I didn't even know that was a debate. Where is it for you?
I thought it was technically part of New Jersey, but I don't know. It's confusing because you see it on like from New York
Right?
when you're riding the Staten Island ferry. Like you can see it, but I think it's technically part of New Jersey. I don't know. I'll have to double check that. I don't even know the place where I come from.
I don't know.
How am I going to know where Mount Fuji is located?
I didn't even know that was a debate happening. But yeah, if there's anyone, any listeners or viewers that are living in Yamanashi or Shizuoka, we usually don't condone, negative comments or fighting in the comments
Rivalry.
section. Yeah, but in this case, I want to see like, some people not fighting, but I just want to see if there's any residents from those areas being like, it's mine. No, it's ours.
I mean,
it'd be interesting to
hopefully
see.
there's no fighting because
No fighting.
It's like on the border of
Friendly rivalry, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
But there's a lot of places that you think it belongs to somewhere like the New Jersey, New York thing with the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
But it actually exists in another place, like Tokyo International Airport. That's in Chiba Prefecture.
yeah.
Tokyo Disneyland in
Is in
Chiba,
Chiba.
Prefecture. So just had to point that out there. Osaka Airport, aka Itami Airport, that's in Hyogo Prefecture. Technically, I think like geographically.
Oh.
I could be
thought
wrong.
about it.
I could be wrong.
Because I just say what it's called, Osaka Itami.
Yeah, but
oh my gosh.
yeah, but
Bamboozled.
bamboozled. But yeah, don't catch me up on Mount Fuji anytime soon.
Yeah, you're not going to see us there. We'll be on another mountain waving to you guys.
Yeah, from across the way. Okay.
Yeah, but if you've ever climbed it, let us know how it was. And yep, that's all
That's
I
it.
got. This is the point of the day where I'm becoming a little
Like
delusional.
brain dead. Yeah, I
A
feel.
little unhinged.
I feel kind of silly. I need a snack again. Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like my brain is just full of air right now. I need...
brain is full of air. Just thinking about that hole.
My brain is as empty as Fuji's hole.
Yeah, exactly. Which is bigger, the hole in Frankie's brain or Fuji's hole? Say hole again. Okay. Anyway, thanks for being here.
Volcanic levels of ash.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
Thanks for listening and watching. Catch you again soon.
bye.